Vince is like a stepdad to me. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
like the guy who you have like a good relationship with, like a firm handshake. How you doing? I respect you. I'm glad to have you here. And it's just a really positive relationship. He's welcomed me with open arms, and he's been excited every time I go out there and perform. And
a very special guest alongside me. Just the other week, his brother was in the studio, Jake, and now, as we're on the road to WrestleMania, Logan Paul is in the house. Logan, how are you, man?
What's up, man? Yeah, the better looking brother in the house. Let's go.
Well, this brother has got his second WrestleMania appearance on the horizon. Man, talk to me first of all. How did this WWE sabbatical? How did it happen for you, man? Like, have you always been a bit of a fan, or was it just kind of like a business opportunity?
No, yeah, I've always been a fan of WWE, and like I have massive respect for the superstars. Like growing up, I'd watch it all the time, and then we had a little relationships back in my vlog days. I would go to their events and we'd mess around, and so I've been kind of intertwined with WWE. And we actually had Miz, who's my tag team partner, on my podcast way back in the day. So like, I kind of feel like my involvement in a match at WrestleMania was inevitable, and here it is happening like what, April 2nd and 3rd?
Yeah, just after your birthday, I see. Well, what a gift.
Yeah, what a gift if I win.
But that's cool, man. Like, so talk, how does, obviously you take the stunner, which is cool in itself, at WrestleMania last year. This year for the match, when does that talk start happening? Is this like who reaches out is what I'm after?
Listen, man, if you thought the stunner was cool, nah, bro, that was nothing. That was nothing. This WrestleMania is gonna be insane. Like, I can't wait, dude. 100,000 people watching me do my first wrestling match is gonna be sick.
It's amazing too that you're doing it with Rey Mysterio. Like, I tweeted this at the time. I was like, the amount of wrestlers, by the way, who would die to be with Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Like, how cool is that for you to be not only on WrestleMania, but in there with a real life legend, man?
Yeah, it's an honor, dude. So I had this same feeling and opportunity with Floyd, right? Like, he's the opposition, he's my opponent, but you got to have respect for these guys. They've been doing this their whole entire lives, and they're legends in the sport, and they've made such a mark in this discipline that I understand and fully accept with enthusiasm the magnitude of this opportunity, and I'm just going to take it as serious as I can and try to kick some ass.
Well, talk to me about how you've been preparing for it, man. Like, Bad Bunny, he set a high bar last year. And he was obviously training at the PC for a bit beforehand and working with different people. Have you been putting some training in? Who's been helping you out?
Yeah, man. So I've been doing a lot of push-ups, a lot of sit-ups, probably about 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups a day. Run at least 1 mile like every other day. Yeah, that's about it.
You don't need the wrestling training.
I mean, look, nah, I don't think so. It just kind of comes natural to me.
That's all good then. Listen, when you get in there with Rey Mysterio, I guess we'll find out quick. Like, it's a pretty good guy to go against.
Yeah, we'll see.
And you mentioned Floyd earlier. I did want to ask you about this because I know you've been very vocal about, what he withheld. Has you speaking up about it? Has this created a dialogue? Has there been any progress here?
No, but to be honest, bro, I'm done talking about it. I think it's time to get serious about it. Take it offline.
Yeah, I get you. But the other thing with that is obviously you're moving into, well, a great payday with WrestleMania as well. In terms of your WrestleManias down the years, you mentioned being a WWE fan. Talk to me about the people that you did like when you were growing up. Like, who did get you into WWE?
Yeah, Hulk Hogan, obviously, The Undertaker, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Kind of like the blueprint he laid out was, I think, my true inspiration. Like the way he was able to pivot from the WWE into being the highest paid actor in the world, like as a man of multiple disciplines. I kind of looked at that as like a proof that you don't have to be just one thing. you know, because I do a lot of shit and I try to do it the best I can and try to make my mark in each vertical
Yeah.
pretty significantly, like Dwayne did. And so, yeah, man, the inspiration from this sport runs deep, and hopefully one day I'll inspire someone and they'll see my match at WrestleMania and maybe whatever future I have with WWE and be like, hey, you know, because of you, I did this and I was able to accomplish this, which is like the ultimate dream.
What about a pool tag team? What?
Yeah, someone else just mentioned that. Like, yeah, my brother coming in to the WWE. That'd be crazy, bro. I can't imagine that. Man.
That'd be awesome. But you just mentioned too, though, you know, about blueprints and things like that. And I think it's amazing what you've done. You know, you've created a platform, made yourself valuable enough to get these amazing opportunities. And one man who led a lot of credence to that was Brock Lesnar, man. How amazing is that?
Dude,
I mean,
so
he hardly praises anyone, right? And he's got a lot of
yeah,
respect.
look, man, we are so used to celebrities and especially for some reason icons that we looked up to growing up talking shit about us. And it's been a shame. And seeing Brock Lesnar praise us was like the coolest thing ever because he was one of our favorite UFC fighters
Yeah.
growing up. We watched him in the UFC again, pivot from WWE to the Ultimate Fighting Championship, become heavyweight champ of the world, and then go back to WWE. Like he's amazing, and I love that he was kind enough. And I think I'll go ahead and use the term intelligent enough to realize, you know, Jake and I are more than just this show at this point. We are a multi-tentacled entity that is here to stay, whether you like it or not. And we got a lot of stuff on the horizon and a lot of stuff that we've done. And it's exciting to be involved with names like Brock Lesnar and organizations like WWE.
I mean, you'll probably see him WrestleMania weekend. Have you had the chance to meet him yet?
I haven't. I haven't. I'm excited to, dude. He's a big guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But still, like you said, I mean, you said that. I mean, I know initially there was maybe a resistance to like you yourself and your brother. I do feel like you've won people over though. I mean, Brock's a good example, but Mike Tyson as well has had a lot of love for you too. Like that must be really rewarding to see people actually appreciate the paths you guys are trying to carve out. You understand?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, it's one of the coolest things ever. But there's still a little behind the scenes uphill battle that like we're fighting, and maybe I'm jaded because I was so used to a certain tone of chatter online, even from people who I like again loved growing up. Then all of a sudden they turn their back on me and be like, yo, this kid's chalk him up to the game. Well, that young kid who was you know, given up on by people that I love turned out to be something and is going to continue to try to be something great. And so just getting respect from people who I really respect is like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, and I think it's mad all that you've achieved. And I said this to Jake as well. When you're only in your mid-20s, man. That's like pretty unbelievable that you have multiple different platforms, sports. Like it's just like, geez, I mean, you can't help but respect it. And I think a lot of people are coming around to that idea. With WWE, you said obviously you grew up a fan. How have your interactions been with Vince McMahon? Because he's that guy who ahead of time, I think so many people have this idea in their head of, oh my God, you know, he's like a god of wrestling almost, right? Like what has it been like for you?
He's like Vince is like a stepdad to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the guy who you have like a good relationship with, like a firm handshake. How you doing? You know, I respect you. I'm glad to have you here. And it's just a really positive relationship. He's welcomed me with open arms, and he's been excited every time I go out there and perform. And yeah, I know it's been positive, dude. He's awesome.
I think that's an awesome thing in itself. Like what credence that gives. Vince McMahon's embracing you know, yourself.
Yeah, and hopefully, you know, if I continue my involvement in the WWE, hopefully I can bring stuff to the table that I don't know, switches it up, man. I'm an innovator, and like I'm always here to pitch ideas, and at the end of the day, I'm a creative. And so like if I can get more involved in, I don't know, some of the behind the scenes stuff with Vince's approval, that could be
Yeah.
fun.
Do you think there could be something like that for you? Like a longer WWE run, maybe?
To be honest, bro, probably. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I really love it. It just has to make sense with my schedule. I'm doing so much stuff, and like I have to really be careful where I allocate my energy. And this happened with boxing, right? At first, I did it. I tried it out, and I loved it, and so I kept doing it. And like today was the first day because we had training today. Today was the first day I was like, "Ooh, this is like fucking fun. I like this." And so like, again, if I fall in love with this sport and I like soak in that energy at WrestleMania and feel like there's a future for me here, man, I'm gonna have to run with it. You know, but it's not my decision. It's up to the fans. Like I either love me or hate me. That's great. But if they're indifferent to me, we got a fucking problem, and I'll probably get out of this sport.
Well, that'd be my final question, man. Like, you've boxed Floyd Mayweather, and it doesn't get much higher than that. But do you have ideas to box again?
Yeah, for sure. That's the other thing, man. I love boxing still, and so I'm definitely boxing again.
Mm.
Hopefully by the end of this year. I'm in training, and uh, just gotta balance. You know, it's hard when you do so much. If you do too much, you don't do anything at all. So I just gotta be careful.
Have you got ideas for a name? Because it's hard once you've had Mayweather, man. You know what I mean? Like,
There's yeah. There's a kid from Brazil. His name is Whindersson Nunez. He's my age. I think he's a little smaller than me, but he wanted to fight. He's big on Instagram. He's like a comedian or something. And like, to be honest, bro, again, going from Mayweather, where do you go from here? I don't really care. I just want to fight. I want to fight someone. I want to knock someone out. And I think Whindersson's a good opponent for me.